So before we get started with building an assignment, I want to take this time to talk a little more about assignment groups. So if you've taught classes before, you've probably divided all of your work for your students into different categories. For example, you might have homework, you might have quizzes, you might have exams. And so just the same way that you would group those different types of assignments into categories for the purposes of your course, we can also group assignments here in Canvas. So again, I'm in the Assignments tab in our local navigation. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a handful of groups for my course. Now my course here is a biology lab course. And just to let you know, the types of assignments I had in my biology lab courses included things like lab reports. Okay? So if I want to create lab reports, all I did, just so you can see, is I clicked on this plus group. And then in the window that comes up, you just enter whatever you want to call that particular assignment group. Now we're going to talk about this other portion here in just a moment, but I want to create assignment groups first. So I've got lab reports. The other thing I used to give in my labs were lab quizzes. Okay? And then the final type of assignments I want to create are called practical exams. This is where students had to actually go through the lab and demonstrate that they understood what it was that we had done in previous labs. So this is an exam that assesses their ability to perform certain components from the lab and experiments. Okay, so I've got 4 assignment groups here. Now, I don't actually want this default one, and this is the one you're going to start with, is a default group for assignments called assignments. I don't really want that one there because it's not specific to me, so I'm going to delete it. All right, there we go. Okay, and then the cool thing is you can actually drag and drop, so if you want to change the order of these assignment groups, you can. That's fine, it's completely up to you. Okay, so these are our assignment groups. Now the way my syllabus broke down, lab reports were worth 20% of the overall grade, quizzes were worth 20% of the overall grade, and practical exams were worth 60% of the overall grade. And let's say I just want to plug in 100 for each of these because it's out of a total of 100 points. Each quiz is worth 100 points. And each report is worth 100 points. So if I've got multiple reports and the overall average of those reports is, let's say, 20% of the grade, well, I want to set my lab report group total to 20% of the overall grade. So right now I can't do that because if I go to edit, you'll notice that this is grayed out. So how do I make a change to that so that I can actually assign percentages for each of these different groupings? Well, it's super simple. All you have to do is go here to this cog up here in the Assignments tab and click on that. And you're going to get one option in the window that appears. Weight final grade based on assignment groups. And you can say yes. And here's where you can actually define the percentages for each of those groups. So lab reports here would be 20%, lab quizzes would be 20%, and then my practical exams would be 60%. And I'll save that. And now I'm going to see that each of these has a percentage associated with it. Now here's the other thing that's cool. Let's say I decided to create a brand new group. Now when I go to create that group, I actually have access to the percent of total grades. So go ahead, create assignment groups for yourself so that you have it set up for your distinct assignments. And then if you want to weight them based on percentage, you can. So this is mine. And when we start moving forward, we're going to start building assignments into these distinct groups. Okay, so that is how you create brand new groups, and then that's also how you associate distinct percentages with each of the assignment groups that you create.